Since 2008, the MCU has made a lot of content. However, only 5 lucky winners can be in the top 5 best Marvel content made, best MCU content. We'll be going over all the MCU content. However, only 5 of those will be in the top 5. These will be including both movies and shows. So, combined with the MCU movies and shows, these are the top 5 best MCU creations. Starting with the 5, the worst, I guess, quote unquote, the top 5, is still amazing. Iron Man. Iron Man is a great movie. You know, first off, this movie, you know, it really didn't have a whole lot of CGI because it's still very early. This is the first Marvel project to ever come out, actually. And I gotta say, they started off on a really high note. This movie is just amazing. Honestly, though, everything. I love the character arc that Iron Man goes through in the first third. With Jensen dying and all that, him learning to become a true hero, him building his armor is just fun, him testing it out, all the stuff leading up to the finale, which is great. We find some Obadiah Stane, and Pepper helping him defeat him is also great. Honestly, though, everything about this movie is great. I don't like it as much. It doesn't just have as much of the thrill to it as like the top 4. However, it still is an amazing, remarkable movie that definitely started off the MCU on a really high note. It definitely helped its success later on. Okay, the 4th best MCU content is a first show, Loki. This is combined Loki Season 1 and Season 2. Loki, it was really a great show. Season 1 really got us going with the whole time variance authority thing. I like how Endgame, started it, really, although it was kind of brief, it, set it up that it was going to be happening by having Loki escape with the Space Stone, the Tesseract, and then having Loki go through all these adventures, literally saving the multiverse. There was just so much shoulder. Every episode is just so much fun. Even when it's slow, you still really feel the adventure going along. It's just such a great show. You really love the adventure aspects of it as they all try and do stuff. It's just a really amazing show. Although there are many times when you can't tell what's going on, the times you do, you just love the show. The twists are amazing. Like when you find out the Timekeepers was actually He Who Remains, which is a variant of Kang, who people hated Ant-Man too, so Dr. Doom, played by Ant-Man, is going to be the new Thanos, I guess, but screw that, but I mean, whatever. Loki is still a really great show. Even if it didn't really set up Kang the Conqueror as the next Thanos, it was still a really great show, showing Loki literally saving the multiverse. There's really no show better than it, which is why this is the first and last show on this ranking. Just a quick spoiler. Number 3, we are at the top 3. We just covered the runners-up, but the top 3 best movies in this cinematic universe. The number 3 best best MCU movie is Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't think many people can disagree. I mean, this came out, we were all really hyped when this came out, when the trailers came out. We saw all the characters from all the Blumhouse Spider-Man movies. This movie really did feel like a conclusion to a saga, really. Honestly, though, all the Spider-Man movies, the original three with Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, the Andrew Garfield, this really all did kind of feel like a saga, if you ask me. This movie was the conclusion, was the end game of that saga. And I really do feel like this movie did a great job of, although this isn't going to be the last we see of any of the Spider-Man, because I'm pretty sure Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is going to be a lead in Secret Wars. We're definitely seeing Tom Holland's again, and I think we'll see it, Andrew Garfield. This is still a good time to wrap up the main movies. Because, they didn't really, do a good job of, really wrapping up those stories. Spider-Man 3 kind of did, but also kind of didn't. Spider-Man 2 did not at all. So, I'm really glad they showed really good justice to all the 3 Spider-Man. It really did feel like they showed characters from each of the many movies with Spider-Man. The Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, all combining in this wonderful masterpiece. I love how they make the world complete, how Peter makes the ultimate sacrifice in the end, because you gotta say, though, Peter Parker kind of had it easy in the first 2 Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Tom Holland's Peter did kind of have it easy. One, although he did experience Uncle Ben's death, it doesn't really feel like that's a hardship for him. Although it was, you don't really feel it because they just skip that part. Apart from that, everything else, he just has a lot easier. One, his aunt is young and healthy, unlike any original Spider-Man movies. 2, he gets Mary Jane rather easily. There's not as much drama as like with the other movies. 3, Flash Thompson. He only like sometimes very rarely emotionally insults Peter by calling him something Parker. I will say though, he had it pretty easy throughout the movies. So it was really nice seeing him make the ultimate sacrifice in this movie. It was also cool seeing Andrew Garfield carry Gwen Stacy. Carrying Tom Holland's version of MJ, saving her from the same fate that killed Gwen Stacy. Kind of doing that character justice. Honestly though, every character was done justice here. It was a wonderful movie. Okay, we're at the top 2. Barely avoiding being in top 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, looking back, you could say Spider-Man No Way Home was better. However, to be fair, that movie, the only reason it's not like number 1 or anything is because it did kind of contain a lot of fan service, which is great. However, I don't know. I just feel like overall, there were a couple weak parts in it. However, enough about Spider-Man No Way Home. I can explain those later. Or maybe not at all. But Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie is just amazing. While Spider-Man does have a couple weak parts of the story, like, he really didn't save. He only saved about, like, 2 of the villains. It's still really great, however, he only saved, like, 2 of the villains. There's a couple weak parts of the story. I'm not saying they don't exist. However, there's, like, nothing bad about Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie is absolutely wonderful, honestly. I actually rewatched it just now. This movie is just so fun to rewatch. Every time you rewatch it, it feels like a new wonderful experience. There's just so much to love about this movie. 1, I really love the big dive into comedy. 2, it's just really fun seeing all the characters. I Am Groot, Rocket, Gamora, Drax. Everything just lines up so perfectly in this movie. Sure, you could probably make an argument that Spider-Man No Way Home is better. However, I feel like the plot with Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is just a lot more stronger. They do have a little bit of weak spots in the plot of this movie. With this one, a couple plot holes. With this movie has a lot less of those. So, I'd say Guardians is a better movie overall. Honestly, you can't help but love the movie. When Groot dies, it's just sad. Even though you only knew him for 1 movie, you still can't help but feel sad. Which Pietro dying in Age of Ultron really didn't achieve, at least for me. But they make Groot so lovable that even though you only knew him in this movie, he dies. When he dies, you still can't help but cry. Or at least shed a tear. And everything else, it's just so funny, so wonderful. This Romany Accuser is a great villain. Everything in this movie is wonderful. And the king of the MCU, Avengers Endgame. This isn't only my MCU movie, okay? This is my favorite movie, period. My favorite movie is Avengers Endgame. Everything in this movie was handled so brilliantly. This was the perfect climax to the Infinity Saga. A wonderful 20 movies. This was a wonderful media franchise, and I personally loved every second of it. This movie, just this one movie, is just brilliant. They add just the right amount of comedy so it doesn't feel too serious. They still don't want to feel serious. I loved seeing Fat Thor. That was pretty funny. Everything with Captain America saying Avengers Assemble, finally holding that hammer, from Iron Man sadly dying. Everything here just felt concluded so well. They did a great job concluding. And I loved how they did a time travel. So we got to see some moments in the MCU, like the Avengers, Thor the Dark World. Not that anyone liked that movie. And I think there was one more. Yeah, but there was the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Guardians. So I got to see the events of 3 Marvel movies from the past. But it would have been cool if they introduced the stones different movies at the time stone. It would have kind of been cool instead of if the Hulk went to 2012, he went to 2016, so we could have seen the events of Doctor Strange. That could have worked. No, actually kind of not. So yeah, that could have worked actually. However, it was still cool seeing the events of the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor, at least a little bit of those events. It's like a minus of past movies. The time travel stuff was really fun. It was cool seeing them try not to interact with the past selves and Captain America failing in that aspect. It was just overall a great movie. Even just amazing. A purely amazing film. And that's all. I did actually make a tier list, linking all of the Marvel Infinity Saga content on a tier list. You can click this video to watch that. Or you can click here, it's up to my channel. Anyway, that's all for the video. Peace out.